We aren't here to give you a motivational speech. We're here to tear off the drywall and look at the load-bearing beams of your capability. Mindset. Mindset isn't a poster. Mindset is a structural audit. In the book Mindset, Carol S. Dweck exposes a hidden flaw in our foundation. Let's look closely at what this book actually demands.
You keep polishing the facade while the frame quietly warps. That is the core insight of this book. Carol S. Dweck wrote it to expose one specific hidden habit. She asks a very cold question. What do you actually defend when praise becomes part of your structural frame?
This entirely redefines talent. We're treating this book as a rigorous examination of what happens when ability isn't treated as a finished building, but as a framework changing under load. At UpGoWise, we start with practice, not belief. We audit the hidden architecture behind your need to look naturally gifted.
The crucial reality is this: you chase praise, and the mind turns that approval into a load-bearing wall. The first lie isn't that you're special. The first lie is that special must look effortless. When you believe this, effort feels like a leak in your polished facade. Correction becomes a stain on the marble. So you hide the drafts. You avoid the unfinished room, keeping a beautiful entrance to a shrinking building.
Let's shift our focus to the first behavioral phase. It's the false logic that staying near your strengths protects your gifted reputation. Praise acts as a hidden brace. You think to yourself, well, I know how to win rooms. I know what I'm good at. I should stay near my strengths. It sounds mature, right? It sounds highly efficient. But it's a trap.
Here is how the logic of that expert voice completely collapses. If your ability must look perfectly finished from day one, then any hard challenge feels like vandalism. And if challenge feels like vandalism, you'll start to call avoidance wisdom. You protect the label, but the mind makes hard rooms look genuinely unsafe.
This is our first real dilemma. Keep the gifted image intact and avoid the heavier room, or enter the heavier room and risk the image cracking. Both options feel incredibly costly. One costs your reputation, the other costs your actual structure. This book's diagnosis resolves this strictly. The label you so desperately protect has become the wall that forbids repair.
I want you to ask yourself, what room would you enter if looking slow wasn't a shame? This question separates true architectural standards from fear disguised with a ruler. The standard says, make the beam true. Fear says, never let anyone see the beam. One builds, one conceals.
Brace is used as a hidden brace, yes. But what happens when the load increases? A crack appears near the foundation. It's small, it's ugly, and it's incredibly useful.
1. Hairline, crack, tells the truth. The crack doesn't hate the building. It simply provides data about the load. It's the gift you keep misreading. It's data in concrete, not a curse carved into stone. It tells you exactly where the stress is accumulating.
This book offers a new inspection ritual. We're reframing failure from demolition to data. Ask where the crack began. Ask what load revealed it. Ask what repair changes the next attempt. This allows for targeted renovation instead of just running away from the site.
Listen to the architectural difference in how we praise. You are brilliant seals the wall too early. It worships a finished building. You found a stronger support, trains the worker to keep reading the load. The difference in sound is small. The difference in architecture is massive. One phrase freezes you. The other opens the site for endless development.
Now there's a hidden trap here for highly disciplined people. You might wear effort like decorative scaffolding that never actually touches the damaged beam. At UpGoWise, we see this all the time. Empty effort fills the site, it impresses the people on the street, but it leaves the structural crack completely unchanged.
This brings us to the second dilemma. Treat effort as proof you were not born able, or treat effort as a costume that proves your moral worth. The first misunderstanding makes work shameful. The second misunderstanding makes work purely decorative. This book resolves it strictly. Effort matters only when it actually repairs the next load-bearing move.
Deliver this clean, sharp question to yourself. What changed because of my effort? This forces you to measure if your work actually altered the blueprint, not just how tired you were at the end of the day, not how much dust was on your sleeves. What actually changed?
Return to that first building, but now the wall is open. The crack is marked with chalk. The self has become less sacred and more workable. This isn't a downgrade, my friends. This is freedom with dust on its hands. You don't need a louder promise. You need a cleaner inspection.
And here is the ultimate verdict.
Let this carry its full weight. The facade was never the frame. The polished self, the one that never makes a mistake, becomes smaller and smaller than the repaired self.
To rewrite your internal code, you must hit this exact threshold. Bring one unfinished beam into daylight. Let one skilled mark land. Make one repair that changes the next attempt. We're not looking for motivational cheer here. At UpGoWise, the mandate is clear. Access your growth map.
We step into the void. This is the decision. Make it now. If not now, not ever.
Here is your 24-hour micro-experiment. Enter one difficult room you've avoided. Ask for one specific correction before you defend yourself. Notice what happens when you do this, and watch the first thing you try to protect.